Hey everybody, welcome and welcome back to the channel. I hope everybody is doing well. It's me, Adrena Monet. Let me take a moment and show you guys this outfit that I got from Ghana when I was there recently. It is the shorts and top. It's the shorts and top that I showed you guys, along with some other items that I got as well from Ghana. So let's take a moment and acknowledge this, okay? Let's take a moment. Okay, so anyways, I've got Instagram going live over here to my left, and so we're going to have a really good conversation today, as you can tell from the title of the video, talking about the grass is greener on the other side type of mindset and mentality in the context of relationships. And so yeah, so let's go ahead and get into it. I will have some relative articles in my description and in the video description, and also in the comment section below, for you to get into as well, just to become knowledgeable and just increase your knowledge on the goodness of this conversation, and to walk away with some more insight, wisdom, etc. Okay? And so, hey Instagram. And so yeah, so let's go ahead and get into it without any further ado. So the whole grass is greener elsewhere or on the other side kind of mindset. It's a mindset where you think like we're a degree and a level of dissatisfaction and discontentment, if that's a word, builds up in you over time, and you find yourself not feeling fully satisfied in a relationship, in a healthy relationship. Not talking about toxic ones. You actually have a healthy relationship and all of that. You maybe have overcome some challenges and other issues or whatever in your relationship, but you've overcome them well, and the relationship is still still ongoing and all of that. But you find yourself having those thoughts that come to mind, however often that they come to mind. And this conversation is namely for gentlemen, because again, I speak on and especially address the entrapments of the female narc on my channel, as those of you guys that know, and if you're new to my channel, you will find out, okay? But female narcissists are very much underestimated, and the stats on narc abuse are very skewed to only, to depict men basically as the main abuser, but that is really far from the truth. And female narcs, they are scandalous in friendships and dating and marriage as well. Scandalous, ruthless, devious, all of that in both friendship and relationship and marriage dynamics. So that is what I speak on and address oftentimes whenever I do talk about all things narc abuse and connections on my channel. And so the grass is greener on the other side mentality. The grass is greener on the other side mentality, yeah, is when you just find yourself like feeling just dissatisfied with what you have at home, with the girlfriend or with the missus and all of that, or with the fiance, and you find yourself, slowly but surely kind of, considering stepping out basically, right? And so, hey Kwaku, and so, so that's pretty much that. So what ends up happening is, you may start scrolling on Instagram, or you may start scrolling on whatever other online apps, or when you go out with the fellas and stuff like that, you may find yourself, just entertaining the idea of what another relationship or what have you, or dating dynamic with somebody, another woman would be like. And so, you kind of find yourself, just slipping. And yeah, it's very dangerous with the fact that female narcissists are out here ready to pounce, okay? Ready to pounce, deceive, manipulate to no end, and just destroy your life, okay? And the whole thing is, you really won't see it coming. You literally won't see it coming. It just happens bit by bit by bit. And like initially, for instance, when it comes to maybe the thought of you as a man, because men, I'm talking to y'all primarily, and ladies, I know y'all can chime in down in the comments below. I know you guys can chime down in the comments below about how true this is, especially if you know a female narcissist, okay? And so, oh no, I lost my train of thought. And so, the danger of that is that, female narcs are lurking all over the place, online and offline. They work in corporate spaces. They're at the bars, they're at the lounges, they're at the mall, they're at the airport, they're on the Discord app, they're on Instagram, they're everywhere, female narcissists or what have you. And so you kind of got to be careful, what you choose to step out on and with whom you choose to step out, with or whatever, because you might be setting yourself back so many years, and the recovery from the fact won't be a good sight. Of course, initially, like in any dating or courting relationship or relational dynamic, you've got like, the little hangouts or whatever, and you're taking her out here and there or what have you. With a female narcissist, the attention and adoration that they give you is going to be very much excess. Hey everybody on Instagram, I see you guys. And so the adoration, the time they want to spend with you, the attention, etc., that a female narcissist gives you in the initial days of her getting to know you and vice versa, it's very excessive. They want and they do demand, okay, whether they are dating you online or dating you in person, the female narc wants to have 100%, like 1,000%, let's just say 1,000%. The female narc will slowly but surely demand, maybe not in like a very rude way, but in very crafty ways, like everything else that she does that's conniving and everything else. She will demand about 1,000% of your time, okay, and attention. And then she will also initially reciprocate that, but again, everything the female narc does is with motive. Everything she does. Thank you so much, Ghana, good to know, thank you. Everything the female narc does is with motive. And so you kind of got to beware, because all of this is a joke and whatever else until you find yourself entrapped with a female narcissist. And so so with a female narcissist, we call it love bombing, as far as like the psychological term for the excess adoration, attention, etc., that you'll be receiving from the female narcissist. We call that love bombing, and that's their way of them getting you to pretty much, throw all caution to the wind, get rid of any intuition, any discernment, etc., that you would otherwise be operating under, and be, that you would be otherwise operating under. They get you to just throw away like throw away all your discernment and intuition, and give absolutely blind trust to them, as they get to know you, and vice versa. And so that's the danger, especially at the love bombing phase when it comes to a female narcissist. That's typically what we call the getting to know you type phase or whatever, when you're, initially getting to know, a significant other and all of that, okay? But the love bombing with the female narc is very, very dangerous, because again, they get you to throw all caution to the wind, to even stop trusting yourself like you normally would, and to just blindly trust them and go with whatever they want and all of that. And that's where the easy manipulation and deception and all of that easily follows. Love bombing might be the female narcissist buying you a PS5. I know it's PS5 season for the people. So she may, get one of those or whatever for you as a gift. But there's no genuine gift at all, tangible or intangible. There's no such thing as a tangible gift, okay, or a thoughtful gift from a narcissist, because even gifts come with a price to pay, and some sort of consequence, basically. Even gifts, tangible and intangible from a narcissist, but especially tangible ones, they come with a price to pay. They come with a consequence, because you're dealing with a devious person. It just is what it is. And so, yeah, these are just some of the dangers of, again, allowing yourself to be swayed into thinking that you're missing out on a better woman or what have you, when you've got the total package at home. And so hopefully you guys are flowing with me so far. I did take notes, in preparation for this conversation. And some signs that came to mind for me. Some signs that you may have a grass could be greener on the other side mentality is one, if you find yourself rethinking your level of commitment and faithfulness to the woman that you're currently in a relationship with. Two, you may be prone to self-sabotaging a perfectly good relationship if simply given the chance to act on your impulses, right? Three, you have a false notion that another relationship would be less demanding and less work, than your current one. Let's pause there. When it comes to any relationship, whether you're dating, courting a person, or you're married to them, you're engaged even, which of course engagement becomes prior to marriage, we know that. But at whatever phase of being with that woman, because I'm talking to the men right now, okay? And ladies, y'all can chime in and give me some feedback as well, and insight as well as to all that I've mentioned in this video. But when it comes to, what point did I just make? Oh yeah, when it comes to any relationship dynamic, the early stages or the more seasoned ones, you have to wake up every day and choose that person, choose to show up for them, choose to serve them, however you can serve them, and be amazing and loving and faithful and all of that in their lives that day, right? You have to choose to do that every day. Now, yeah, so that's just that point on that. Another sign that you may have a grass is greener on the other side, or could be greener on the other side mentality, is if you are neglecting or otherwise taking for granted your current relationship to whatever degree that you may be taking it for granted. So those are just 4 signs that you may have a grass is greener on the other side mentality. And so yeah. And let me see, that pretty much covers that. But yeah, so we'll discuss the dangers of that, especially when it comes to the love bombing and the excess goodness of things, and goodness of the relational dynamic that you'll think you'll have going with a female narcissist. And of course, she's not gonna come out and tell you that, okay? This is where, my channel comes in and other ones that are bringing awareness about the fact on YouTube especially come into play, because we're trying to give y'all the game, Some of y'all think y'all players out here and stuff like that. The player always gets played by the narcissist, okay? The player always gets played by the narcissist, okay? That's truly their match. It ain't a good thing, so I'm not wishing that on a player, but I'm just saying, if you want to be out here discontent when you've literally got wifey at home or wifey to be and all of that at home, it just doesn't make sense. But again, we're not talking about in the context of a toxic relationship. We're talking about when you have total package at home. Whatever the total package is in a woman for you as a man, when you've got that total package and you still think that you're missing out elsewhere, not wise. It's not wise. It's not wise. It is not wise. And so I'm just out here trying to give y'all the female narc game, okay? I'm just trying to give y'all the game. And so, yeah. What else? So that pretty much covers 4 signs that you may, as a man, have a grass is greener or could be greener on the other side mentality. We discussed some of the dangers of the fact a PS5, cooked meals, stuff like that should not be enough for you to let all your guard down just about immediately with a female, because again, you don't know what kind of motive she's coming with. So that's that on that. And yeah, like I've already mentioned, female narcissists, they are very real in their existence. Of course, they come dressed up just like this, but it's what's on the inside and beneath all of this. It's what you have to be spiritually in tuned for. And if you're spiritually weak, you're not going to pick up on the red flags that are blatantly in your face oftentimes when you are in the presence of a female narcissist that is trying to entrap you with all the love bombing and all of that. And so that's that on that. Yeah, a female narc and her ways, they're not typically easily detectable unless you already have quite a bit of discernment and intuition that you operate out of. And even then, she's super deceptive, manipulative, controlling, and all of that. So you just have to really be, you just have to be careful out here, okay? Yeah, love bombing will also look like mirroring, which mirroring is basically when the female narc will have you thinking that you guys have so much in common, maybe passions, goals, travel experience, and adventures. intellectual capacity, you know, and intellectual goodness and all of that, talents and gifts, not gifts, like when I say talents and gifts, I mean like maybe you guys may have a musical background in common or social have you think. She may have you thinking that she has so much intellectual genius. Nah, because when it comes to the narcissist, but especially the female narc, because she is so underestimated, they study you. They study you in whatever setting, whether it's an online setting, in an online friend group space. They study you in an offline family-friend dynamic. They study you to a T in order to directly reflect back to you everything that you like or even dislike, so that they can then like and dislike those same things to captivate you that much more quickly and smoothly, I guess, right? And effortlessly, I guess, depending on how gullible, naive, extremely trusting of her as you may find yourself being. So just trying to put y'all on, I'm trying to put y'all on the game, okay? And so mirroring will look like, again, like I said, her conveniently, and it is out of convenience because she has ulterior motive in everything that she ever says and does for you and for anybody else. Okay, you're not the exception, okay? Trust me, you're not the exception, okay? With the female narc, you're not. You're just a target. You are a prey. She is a predator, and she's just here to finesse you, and finesse you, okay? I'm just trying to help y'all out. But yeah, so yeah, mirroring will look like them having the same likes and dislikes that you have, and that type of thing. So these are just some key points that came to mind for me as far as the dangers of dealing with a female narc. In prior videos that I have on my channel, I discuss what a female narcissist is, what narcissistic abuse really is, and all of that. Most times abuse does not always look like abuse, especially when it's coming from a woman, because a female will connivingly move into your life and you know, emotionally, spiritually, psychologically, financially, and otherwise control you. She won't always be physically aggressive and physically abusive, although that can come into play as well. Let's be very clear, okay? Especially when she does not get her way, and especially when you might be coming on, you might be seeing the red flags and starting to acknowledge them, and you might bring them up to her and be like, hey, X, Y, and Z, da 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 da. If you bring up red flags to her, she's not going to like that, because that's messing up her whole game plan of have you around as long as possible, to manipulate you, to have you basically enslaved to her for her ill agendas that she plans on accomplishing through your finances. Especially if you're financially wealthy, forget it, okay? I'm just trying to help you guys out, but yeah, and so that's how this all works. But yeah, the grass is greener, man. And I know for me, you know, when it comes to like healthy relationships, I didn't necessarily, I didn't have that sort of like modeled in front of me when I was growing up. And so I have a couple people that I personally know, and then I have other people that I gleaned from their relationship and marital like wisdom and insight and perspective from our online connections especially. So I'll glean from healthy couples, obviously, because if you're listening to taking bad advice and gleaning from people that are toxic and everything else, then you might want to rethink your entire life. But I gather a lot of my wisdom, insight, and perspective about relationships and marriage from just amazing couples that, you know, just inspire me and encourage me from my online observations, and then of course also just online interactions with such couples. And so, man, when you have a good thing at home, when you really have a good thing at home, and it's like when it comes to relationships, you know, it's much like your own personal journey in life. Whatever your personal goals are in life, whatever your divine purpose is here in the earth that you should be carrying out, cultivating, fulfilling, and all of that, you know, you have to kind of be not so much laser focused, but you do have to be mindful to not be distracted, because everything that glitters is not gold, one. And two, like, you just don't want to be that person that ends up having great regrets, and I guess being remorseful as well, from losing out and losing the best woman that you ever had in your life and could have had in your life as a result of really thinking that you were missing out when you weren't. And maybe you guys just needed to have some sit down time together. And yeah, you guys just maybe were in a season of needing some sit down time together to reevaluate things in your relationship, the communication dynamic, date nights, getaways together, individual goals and collective goals as a couple. And for me, those are called relationship check-ins. You guys may not have a habit, right, or a tradition, if you will, of having relationship check-ins, but even that is healthy to have, maintaining the friendship dynamic. Some of my favorite couples are like Sierra and Russell Wilson, and like Tamia and Grant Hill, and some others I can't think of right now, but couples that have friendship, they maintain that friendship dynamic of their relationship as a whole. It's like when you guys do maybe disagree, or if God forbid somebody tries to come in between you, it's like that friendship dynamic kind of just brings you back, it brings you back to things. Or like maybe if you guys are in a season where the other has lost a loved one, and you're walking your partner, you're walking your significant other through a season of loss of a loved one, or a best friend, which is still a loved one. Whatever the loss of life may be, and you're walking your boo through that season of grief and loss. It's like the friendship dynamic, helps to have them cheered up, and it just reminds you of why you fell in love with that person, So I could probably go on a little bit more, but I feel like I'm running out of like the main points that I did want to make, and I think I did make some major points already. I can't forget about Instagram over here. Y'all got Instagram going over here. But yeah, man, it's dangerous territory to be discontent and low-key ungrateful when you really do have a keeper that you wake up to every day, that you go to sleep next to every day. When you have a keeper, men, please don't jeopardize it. Just don't, like, for real. I'm like legit. I mean, I like to smile and all that, but like in all seriousness, do not jeopardize a solid thing, a solid connection, a solid relationship history, a solid future to come with that woman. Do not jeopardize that for a nightmare that you won't see coming, and a series of nightmares that are going to be very hard to get out of once you're entrapped in it with a female narcissist. Goodness forbid, okay? I think I've made some pretty good points. Ladies, gentlemen, those of you guys that tuned in for this conversation, let me know. Gentlemen, of any time that you maybe had that mentality and you grew out of that mentality of thinking the grass would be greener. Let me know of maybe when you acted upon that whole mentality of thinking the grass was greener elsewhere, and the repercussions that you maybe suffered. And I also have a few questions to leave the gentlemen with as well. Just some things to think about, And I don't know what season of life, many of you guys are in, or some of you guys are in, I don't know the season of life that you're in, but these questions coming to mind will be some good things to reflect on, So one question I have for the gentleman is, what comes to mind for you when you think of the ideal or even total package of a woman? Okay, that's for my gentlemen that are tuned in. Also, and ladies, you can answer these questions for yourself as well. But again, because I'm addressing, the elephant in the room of the female narc and her existence, okay? Her looming existence and her very, very strategic presence in all these places that we discussed, in various online dynamics, in various offline places as well. So yeah, what else? Also, my second question for you guys to think about post-video and post-conversation is, how would you define a healthy, non-toxic relationship? Like, what does that look like for you? What would what does your current, or what would your ideal healthy relationship look like to you? There's various dynamics of it all. And then lastly, when it comes to any dissatisfaction, discontentment, or disagreements along the journey of an otherwise healthy and fulfilling relationship or marriage, would you say that you know how to connect with and address the woman or lady in your life? Would you say that you know how to address the woman in your life in order to properly address? Okay. Would you say that you know how to connect with and address the woman or lady in your life in order to bring about a resolution that works for you both and reconciles the bond and connection that you had, restores the bond and connection that you guys had prior to, the addressing of whatever the disagreement was or miscommunication was, okay? So those are my 3 questions for you guys. You can play those back if you need to. And yeah, so hopefully you guys enjoyed this conversation. You took some wisdom, insight, perspective from it all. Let me know. Talk back to me. You guys know I love when you chat it up with me in the comments down below. Let's keep the conversation going. And let's just keep on increasing the awareness from all dynamics regarding male and female narcs. But again, especially the female narcissist, because she is so underestimated, and many of them are getting away with so much in so many dynamics and everyday people's lives that we don't hear about their stories because people are suffering in silence. And just trying to cope in silence with the nonsense and shenanigans and the blackmail and the smearing and all of that, Thank goodness for those of us that have the courage and the transparency and the strength even to share our respective journeys in the YouTube space, on Instagram and otherwise, okay? I love you guys. I'm thankful for you all. You guys have really helped to see me through my own experience with this whole thing. So I thank you all. My name is Adrena Monet and your girl signing off. I'll talk to you guys again soon. Bye.